Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first preseason game between the Arizona Scorpions and the Minnesota Legend. I believe it is the first game of the season 19 preseason for both of these teams. Appreciate it, Daniel. As I'm saying that, Daniel, you are right up here with me with this great view of the field. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I missed minor league Fight and Insight, so I had to come on here today. I got to see some action. I got to be part of football in some way, right?
Yes, and I think you miss yelling out our new kicker's name. So we'll keep that until he kicks his first ball through the uprights tonight. But I'm sure you're chomping at the bit.
Oh yeah, I'm ready and willing to say that name, but I won't say it just yet.
Yep,
Because we got two good games. We got a game here with two good teams, so it's gonna be fun to watch.
Absolutely. So Arizona, traditionally, I'd say perennial playoff team for the most part. Other than this last season, didn't do quite enough, finishing out the season at 5-7. But I've been seeing rumblings. People are both expecting and sort of hungry for sort of a Scorpion revolution to come back, a resurgence from them. I've been reading in the Say It With Your Chest Discord server.
Yeah, so they had a major issue going into the last season, and it started right at free agency, right? They had a misfire with the Hands brothers that left them as soon as free agency, and they tried to claw their way back throughout the season, but there was just not enough time. They managed with a pretty decent record of 5-7 with everything that went wrong at the start of the season. So now they're back. They got their game plan. They know what they're doing. So I suspect them to go very far this season coming around.
Definitely. So you were mentioning the Hands brothers, their exodus last season, quickly bringing on Connor and Ryan as the sort of pair duo, taking over after they were in San Diego the season before, I believe. And they really sort of stepped in, and maybe they weren't the Hands brothers, and maybe weren't exactly the style or skill level of the wide receivers that Eddie was used to coaching. And ultimately, over the first few weeks, adjusting the game plan to take advantage of the style and skill that Connor and Ryan have. But since last season, they are back with a vengeance. TJ Punk taking on the wide receiver one position, always a threat. Ashley Jackson there under center, again, always, she is a smart football player most of the time. Maybe it's bipolar. Like either she's amazing 95% of the time, then the other 5%, there's just like a pull your hair out situation, perhaps, where it doesn't quite go. But that's, the term comes to mind, risk it for the biscuit. Like if you want to win something, you can't be afraid to crack a few eggs when making an omelet.
No, and they're pretty stacked. They got a good offensive line too. I keep Ashley from hitting the turf as well. They got three contracted players in that regard. So I suspect they're going to have a good time, getting the ball moving, getting a running game going, and getting the throwing. Ashley will have plenty of time in the pocket to get some throws going.
Absolutely. Defensively, we've got Hunter Norwood for his second year, I believe, in Arizona, coming over from, I believe, Jacksonville. J.R. Lawless in the outside linebacker coming over as well. Really great pickups, but they're back end, wrong word. The defensive backs, the backfield is, again, perennial. They've got their normal accoutrements, in defensive backs coming back. Iverson Gamble, we've seen, obviously Eddie Gage, owner, coach extraordinaire, back there. I'm curious if maybe he, not really that I want them to have him to get this on the Minnesota Legend per se, but maybe he'll get a pick six here. But it is preseason, so it doesn't really count. So just prefacing that in case it does happen.
Yeah, well, let's not count our chickens before they hatch. It might be a long time before Eddie gets these first ones. But let's look at the Minnesota Legends, Helly, because this is the first time we'll get to see these guys in action.
That is absolutely right. So we've got Johnny Reno coming over from Fort Worth after his inaugural season as their head quarterback leading that offense there. We've got Colin Hart. So Colin Hart coming over from Louisiana. after then, or previous to that, being a year-over-year player back to the prime of Sioux Falls. Brand new fullback recently drafted was Tank Williams. And then we've got a slew of receiving corps. Did you want to go through the receiving corps, Daniel?
Sure, we got Buchanan Simon and Jay Taylor, both from Charleston Predators fame. They all have been really good. Buchanan Simon actually had a really good standout playoff game in their when they unfortunately did lose, but he played outstanding. Adam Banks might be someone's brother from the broadcast booth, but we're not going to talk too much about that.
He's not my brother.
He's coming from the Louisiana Revolution, and he had actually one of the best yards per carries or yards per whenever he got the ball.
Nice.
Quaig Mam, or Quaig Man, whichever one you want to pronounce. I think it's Quaig Mam, right?
Like ma'am, sir kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah. Wide receiver, freshly rookie, so it'll be nice to see him out there on the field and in some action.
And then we've got Jason France, Viva la France. You're pretty familiar with him, coming over from Tulsa, new GM here at the Legend. And then Christian Bacigalupi as a tight end too, coming in recently drafted as well from the ranks of Tacoma. In fact, we've got a lot of Tacoma alum here with Johnny Reno, yourself, myself included, and then Christian. Who else? Tiga Clay, I think it's from.
Clay is also from Tacoma, and so is Cody Griffin.
Cody Griffin, yep, from our season 3. I mean, it's funny, you make those connections in the minor league and they sort of ripple out. I know Jason from Memphis has a connection. They were himself and Angela Meerkat, our defensive end, were reminiscing about simply just sharing that lineage. They were not on the same team together, but the loyalty runs deep in the minor leagues. So that's exciting to see. We've got both Max Knight and Mark Mello, both Arizona alums. BJ Loveless, played with them under Eddie a few seasons ago. They've been in a few different places here or there, and now joining back up with BJ to sort of head up and spearhead this defense for us over here on Minnesota. So we've also got Buster Johnson at defensive tackle, who is also a good friend with Juan Mississippi. The two of them came over together. Juan coming from Denver. This is his second season, was drafted previously to Denver last season. Myself, Axel Raven at outside linebacker as well, coming from San Diego as well as Sioux Falls previously. We've got BJ Loveless coming from QCC, being the GM there, helping over at Arizona as well as over in Houston. I believe he was drafted to Houston directly, having a huge impact on all three teams that he's been on since joining them. So, and as you mentioned, Cody Griffin in starting out as our starter cornerback, coming from QCC as well. But previous to that, was he the defensive player of the year that first year? He was
the defensive rookie of the year. His first year coming out of the minors.
Awesome. Playing for QCC for 2 years and now coming over here to join his Tacoma and previous, Queen City brethren. Johnny Bravo, also from Charleston fame, previous owner, a co-owner of Charleston, and worked heavily with the team there and previously with Allen as well, coming over as defensive coordinator, as well as our cornerback number 2. Rounding out the safeties there, Daniel Wright, yourself, coming over from Tulsa after a 2-year stint there after being drafted from Tacoma. And then starting aside you is Derek Meerkat, coming from Mexico City last year. I didn't mention that himself and Angela Meerkat, husband and wife duo, coming from Mexico City, being drafted last year, sort of together over there. And then to back those two up, we've got Rick Evans, fresh draftee, from the draft this last weekend, at free safety behind Daniel. And then behind Derek, we've got Tiga Clay, strong safety, coming in fresh from the draft from Tacoma. And then last but not least, we have our kicker, Mickey Melilo, coming over from the championship, or the champions of season 5 in this SFLM, the Albuquerque Adams. So that sort of rounds up the variety of players that we'll be seeing tonight, which is a lot. It's been fun getting to know each one of you, on our team in the Minnesota Legend. I'm sure the Arizona Scorpions, even though you don't have any draftees to welcome to your team. You've got your fellow free agents and things, and I know you guys are all, chomping at the bit to start this season, start this year, and keep growing your culture and commitment to the league. And I really appreciate of Eddie and what you guys under AJ and Moses and things have put together on your team, and the type of organization that you have. Super number one class act, an epitome of what a team kind of should be in the league. So appreciate you all joining us tonight for that. So, but the crowd here in Minnesota playing at Memorial, that's what's used in the game, the Memorial Stadium. But the stadium here in St. Paul is the Northwood Stadium, home to the Minnesota Legend. And the crowd here is sort of ready, I think, Daniel. I heard that the sound is quite near 110, 120 decibels out there down on the field. So they're pretty ready for this game to start.
Yeah, you can even through the glass here, you can start hear them like getting pumped up, getting the chants going. All I have to say, guys, are you ready for some football? Because let's get down and let's get ready for some action.
Let's do it. All right, let's head on over downfield. So here we get a chance to see the Northwood Stadium here in St. Paul. Seeing the Arizona Scorpions coming to town to battle the Minnesota Legend. Let's get ready for some egg handball.
Everything I do is copyright. Have you seen my shirt?
Yeah. Oh. You being Canadian is a copyright.
It's true. I have an exclusive 1-on-1 tie-dye shirt.
You'll never see another like it. So we're getting a little show of some of the star players on these two teams. Here we see the Minnesota Legend, their green home jerseys, as well as the Arizona Scorpions in their default away jerseys or uniforms as well. The flip is up. The Scorpions win and will kick. And the Legend have decided to defend that south goal. So here we see the Arizona Scorpions set to kick off. There we see Adam Banks taking it up to about the 24-yard line. And that's where the Minnesota Legend will take over.
Yeah, pretty good run. We like to say anything with that 25 to 30 range is decent and a good starting spot.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you'd come to expect, and then anything above that is icing on the cake, if you will. So here we see number 15, Johnny Reno, in the backfield, alongside split spread, it looks like, from the shotgun. He hands off quick to Colin Hart, who is up running to the left side, up the middle a bit, for a gain of 8 on that run.
Good start and run for Colin Hart. I'm sure he's excited to play as part of the Legend now.
Absolutely. He looks good in green. The defense is showing 4-3, very tight bunch, both on offense and defense. Got an off eye, handoff to Colin Hart again, off to the right side, able to make it through that first down for another 3 yards after that, so for a gain of about 5.
Yeah, and as we know, Colin Hart was the parental starter for Louisiana, who tried a 2-back set last season, going more to a standard 1-back set this season.
Absolutely, which bode well for us to be able to pick him up. A legend in and of himself, whether or not he was on our team, if you will. Handoff to Colin Hart again, this time stuffed by that defensive line for loss of 2 on that play.
Yeah, it looked like a combined effort there of 55. DD Sachs coming in first and hot and easy.
So Reno on our center with this offset eye again. Spread formation by the receivers. Passes over the middle. Bounced off one of the, looked like one of the defenders, number 27. And that was Eddie Gage, not able to haul that one in. Thankfully for the Minnesota legend.
Come on, Eddie. You got to get the easy ones. Come on. You got to start off.
All right, so the legends line up in a bunch formation on the left side, single back behind him, receiver at the top. Back to passes over to that lone receiver, and it bumps and is tipped and is picked off and is starting to run back. And
then catch the easy one. You had to get the hard one.
And then steps out of bounds after about 10 or 15 yards, step back down the field.
Todd, he heard you. He caught that one for you.
There we saw the defender leaping up and be able to tip that ball out of the air. And then Eddie swooping underneath and just sort of picking that one up. Defensive back's going to defensive back if you're out there, right? So this here we see the Ashley Jackson under center, lone back behind her. Receiver at the top and the bottom. She's back, delayed handoff, drop play over to DJ Moses the second, and heads over to that top left side. Gains about one. Buster Johnson on the tackle.
Yeah, it was good. Good job getting back to the line of scrimmage because that looked like it was blown up pretty early. So good job getting the 1 yard at the very least.
Here we go with a split back behind the quarterback, receiver at the top and the bottom. A pro form. Hands off to the, I can only assume maybe that's Turiano Rivera. No, that was DJ Moses, maybe. Is it?
It is DJ Moses, yeah.
It was the orange sleeves that threw me a bit. Wasn't sure.
We're looking at 3rd and 1 on the 42. Big stop coming if they can do it because they'll stop them from getting in field goal range.
They're in a Jacks formation, it looks like. Or Joker formation. Stuffed at the line for a loss of 1. Who was that on the play? Number 47. Hey, that was me. Axel Raven. getting in that. So it looked like the offensive line was making a hole for Moses to run through. Axel is just able to get there a little quicker and push his way through, stuff that thing up. Here they look like they might try for it on a 4th and 2. This would be kind of risky so early in the game. This is probably going to be they're going to call a timeout. Don't jump, Minnesota, if you know what's good for you.
This looks like the dreaded cheese of wasting a timeout early on in the game.
Yeah, that crowd was really cheering him on. I thought maybe there would be a miscommunication somehow. So good job on both sides to keep your composure during that time and hold each other's bluff. And good job to Arizona for trying to come out there and get us offside.
Both defenses are looking good, though. Both teams were able to get a stop on their very first play.
That's true. This stop, the defense sort of held on and made that interception ultimately worth 0. Wow, which is very good for them. Kick is up by the punter. Lands around the 8-yard line, bounces, and is downed at the 4 for Minnesota. That will be where they take over. So let's now see what the offense for Minnesota can do, tucked back against their own, in the shadow of their own posts, if you will.
Yeah,
literally.
Reno's looking a little shaky. So let's see if he can turn around, maybe get a few easy passes out, maybe 4 or 5 yards, and see how that goes.
Or instead of run for 3, that was out of strong eye spread formation. The defense looked a little soft there and probably a nickel formation, softer on the line, a little bit more space, sort of planning for the pass, taking advantage of that. Again, here looks like the same tight end flex maybe for the strong eye. Reno under center, hands off over to that right side, and able to Colin Hart, able to make another 4-yard gain on that play. Brings up 3rd and 3.
This is going to be a big 3rd down because honestly, they need the 1st down here, or else they're going to be punting way back, and Arizona's going to have very good field position.
Correct. True. Very true. Here we see the same play or same formation as before, just flipped on the other side. Pass this time. Passes over the middle. Caught around the 26, 27, and taken down around the 30. That was Buchanan Simons on the reception.
Yeah, it looked like the center of the field was kind of open. They played off just enough for him to find the opening in the field to get the 1st down.
Absolutely. Nice little inside post rat pattern. Just sort of right over the middle zone and in front of the deep zone. So here we see in a triple formation, single back, Reno back, turns to try to get away, but ends up in the face of one of the defensive linemen. Looks like it's number 55 as well. That's when DD sacks the defensive end.
Reno, that's the other team, buddy. You gotta shake it off now. We're not doing hugs right now in the locker room.
But he loves them. Yeah, those defensive ends, when they get going, they end up collapsing that pocket maybe 7 yards back from the line of scrimmage. And if the quarterback is caught there, he just gets sandwiched between defensive linemen. So you see on the other side, Reno moving around, try to make space, and he does, and that goes out to Buchanan Simons, caught around the 1st-yard mark, a gain of another 11 or 12 past it. Talk about clutch reception there. Throwing that pass through a pinhole of these defenders, and right on the mark on the number 14 for Simons.
Yeah, Reno was able to get out of the pocket fairly well, dodged a few defenders, and the most important part is conserved himself to make sure he made the throw in the tight window. He didn't rush it.
Absolutely. So here we see a Joker's formation, heavy on the line, pass over to the new fullback, Williams, just taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. Nice to see a rookie and fairly recent addition to the league itself, able to make a nice catch there. Here we see again a triple formation, single back in the backfield. We've got 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Reno under center takes a deep drop, passes over the middle, deep, and it looks like it's hauled in. But is that number 80? That is number 80, Jay Taylor, wide receiver number 2, making a deep play back there. Johnny on the mark.
Yeah, we're seeing the Charleston Predators wide receiver core actually taken to him right now as new members of the Legends.
Just sort of,
and we've seen how big of a 1-2 punch they can be.
Just gets inside of that Parker Thomas's coverage and able to just sort of cut him off on the inside right in time for that ball to be in his hands. We see a tight end flex again, offset I, back to pass is Reno, passes over to the far side. Nobody's covering Simons and just sort of walks in, strolling into that end zone.
And we got a touchdown, Legends, the very first in technically history. So good job, Johnny Reno. Good job, Buchanan Simons.
Congrats, fellas. Season 19 off to a decent start. Just burns, and the cornerback just lets him go. That might be Everett Garrison out there, number 44. Assuming he had safety coverage, but safety maybe moved inside to cover another route. So here we see the first kick by new kicker, Mickey Melillo. I just want to say Melillo, but it doesn't. But I think it's Melillo.
It's the only name you need to know. Is
That's true. Mickey! Congrats, Mickey, for your first kick through the uprights here in Northwood Stadium. With 4 minutes left in the first, we've seen 2 not great drives end in early, and then 1 nice drive down the field from the 4-yard line of Minnesota, 96 yards for a touchdown conclusion. Here we see Mickey again for the kickoff. I believe it is Ryan Owens to return. He'll get that around the 6 or 7 yard line, running up, trying to sliver his way forward. He gets to about the 28-yard line, and that is where the Scorpions will start this drive.
Yeah, and don't count the Scorpions out just yet. It's early in the first, and we know how good of a team they really are. So I suspect them to get some momentum here, get a few drives, get a few first downs, get Ashley acquainted with the throwing game, and they'll be right back in it.
Awesome. Melolo. AJ, thank you. Melolo. Okay, Melolo. So we were seeing a empty, looks like a straight open formation. 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom. AJ back to pass. Passes over the middle, received about 17 yards down the field for completion. That is number 83. That is Connor Weston on that reception, coming from that far side and making a little post inside.
Yeah, all you need is the first throw and first catch, and then you start finding the rhythm. And so Ashley got that first throw right now. So let's see if they can keep it going now. Slowly but surely start working that game, working what they want as a game plan.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Again, as preseason games go, they use the same playbooks. Both have the same run-pass ratio. I went through and made sure that the starters were starting and everything pulled directly from their roster. So it's really a way to show out your team's unique skills and abilities at your various positions. There we saw a pass over to the side, wasn't very fruitful, ending up for a loss of 1 there. Split backs with twin receivers on the bottom. AJ under center, drops back, short pass over to the side. A little spin move by number 80. That is Jay Hayden, wide receiver number 4. Coming out there. Oh, wait, 88. The other 8 looks like a 0 to me. All right, so that was TJ Punk starting wide receiver, making that a nice pass or nice reception, seeing it to his hands, but also having field presence to be able to know what its defenders are. Took a little spin, trying to get a little bit more yardage. Wasn't able to be, maybe got an extra half yard or so on that spin. I formation here, handoff to Moses, running up the gut. Gets about 2 and an inch yard, enough for that first down.
Yeah, and it was very good, that catch and run, make it a 3rd and 2, because it was 2nd and 11. So making it a manageable 3rd down, able to get the running game going, able to get first down. And welcome, Eddie, you missed your INT. So you might have to go back and watch that one.
Ashley hands off to Moses again, taken down after about a yard in. Was number 50. That was BJ Loveless on the play, who in fact, Eddie might be appreciate this. He ended up having to take a pay cut and is no longer the highest paid linebacker in the league. But it's all good. He was totally willing to do that, but it was fun while it lasted, he said.
Just wait till next season where you ask for all that money back.
Yeah. Offset I, Ashley back to pass. Passes over to the far side. Was tipped into was tipped by someone guarding in coverage. And then the free safety, Rick Evans, comes over and is able to snag that ball.
Good pick, rookie. Hope you enjoyed. Hope someone clips that for you, because I know you're not watching right now. You said you'll be watching when you come home from work. So
I think I might have seen him. He might have actually been in here. I think he might have in the very beginning. Might have. Oh no, that was Tiga. Wrong person. Wrong side. Reno back to pass, collapses. That pocket collapses pretty quickly on him, able to get the pass out of his hands, but not to a receiver, and falls to the ground lifeless after about 5 yards. Rookie Rick with the pick. Isn't that sick?
Oh no, we're not going to keep rhyming early. It's going to be a long broadcast if you start that.
Killing you like John Wick. All right, so Johnny is here with the tight end flex on the strong side. Offset I behind him, back to pass. Passes over to the middle, complete for 17 yards or so, is Adam Banks, Mr. Banksy, man of the North. I don't know. Do you call him just hey bro?
I just say, hey, losers, because he's going to talk to me. But, that's the kind of thing we have. But that was a nice reception. Another 10-plus yard gain from him. So this is what he was known for in the Revolution. He didn't get a whole lot of catches with him, but he made them count every time he did.
Again, we're with that tight end flex look on the strong eye. Hand off to Colin Hart up the middle, able to pick up, sort of falling forward for that too. I went and adjusted based on what was shown as starters in the portal. So they should be who's out there.
We're looking at 2nd and 8 now on the Minnesota 42.
Pass off to the top successfully. This Buchanan Simons.
And after a safety start for Mr. Reno, I'm sure he'll enjoy this. He's starting to make some good throws. He's starting to get into that rhythm like I was talking about. And that ends the first quarter.
Legend currently up 7-0. Just starting to formulate another drive here at their own 45 at the moment. And that's where the second quarter will start. Reno under center, handoff to Colin Hart. Loss of 1 on the play, not able to get past that defensive line interior.
Looked like David Tilley was there early on to get that to make a loss of 1. And we're looking at 2nd and 11 on the 46.
That
Reno's in trouble, just able to get it off.
Jay Taylor able to just sort of make something out of nothing after the little duck flopped out of Reno's hand, just getting it away for a gain of 1. Then we see a gun straight package, pass over the middle. Diving for the catch, I think, was Buchanan Simons. Reno just had to get that ball out there. Not successful.
Now we see a 4th down. Good stop by the Arizona Scorpions. They'll get the ball back now with a chance to tie the game up. And one good punt deserves another, as Minnesota was able to stop a punting on the 3-yard line. Now, as we knew from Giant Reno, it was actually the 5-yard line in which we got the touchdown. So let's see if Ashley Jackson can one-up him on the 3. Now we're looking at a 2nd down on the 5-yard line.
They line up in receivers at the top and the bottom, I formation behind center, behind AJ, and AJ making some changes there on the line. Hand off to Moses again. Here we see a loss of 1, tackled down by Buster Johnson, number 92. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the front line on the defense is looking pretty good so far at stopping the run game.
Here we see a quads formation. Handoff during that at least gives them some breathing room for the punter. Brings it out to the 9-yard line. DJ Moses sporting that awesome hair. That's awesome to see. How does he make it so nice underneath his helmet? I'll never know. I don't know if he'll tell us those secrets. The punt is up. Punted from the end zone. Caught around the 36-yard line, brought up to about the 33. You see receivers at the top and bottom. One shoulder back to the back, handed off to Colin for a loss of 1, taken down by number 94, David Tilley. Showing Eddie Gage there. Might have been coming up a little bit to help out on that run.
Yeah, it looked like a good safety, almost looked like a safety blitz kind of pattern that Eddie got in there really quickly. Stopped him for a loss of 1.
Here we're seeing that same strong eye tight end flex formation. We'll see what they have to do out of that. It's a pass this time. Passing over the middle, had plenty of time and was a decent length, but just the defender was able to jump up and tip it before it got to Simons, who had about 5 yards on him at that point.
Yeah, that was a good tip by Parker Thomas, the third string cornerback for the Arizona Scorpions. Was able to tip it up in the air, make sure it fell harmlessly on the ground. We didn't see a Kendra Hall touchdown after that.
So here we see a empty backfield for receivers in a straight open package. Over the middle, intercepted by Eddie Gage, running up the field, and taken down at about the 24-yard line of Arizona's. Getting close. We're not quite, the Minnesota Lechie, we're not quite in that red zone area, but this is sort of a heartbreak for them. But could be the momentum shift that Arizona needed right now.
And that is Eddie's second INT of the night. Is 2 INTs good enough to say you almost got a touchdown?
I like what Will Todd in the chat said. 2 scoops. It's very accurate. I love that. Here we see AJ Stryker, Ashley Jackson, under center, I formation behind her, receiver at the top and the bottom. Will Todd, I believe. Yep, out at tight end alongside the line. Handoff, a little stop and go action by Moses. Mississippi able to come in and take him down after about 1 yard line, or 1 yard after past the line of scrimmage.
Say 1 yard after the line of scrimmage?
Oh, bravo.
Thank you, guys.
4-3 by the defense, and we've got a strong eye spread by the offense. Nice run up the side. There's a nice little sort of tunnel for Moses to run through to get about 13 yards on that run.
And this is the first big yards that we've seen off the run today. So let's see if DJ Moses can keep it going.
That was Meerkat, Derek Meerkat, strong safety on the stop there. We have a single back in the backfield behind AJ. AJ underneath center, receiver at the top and the bottom. 2 tight ends, a little pitch, toss play over to Moses, not going anywhere, able to make his way up to the line of scrimmage. Axel Raven excited about that tackle there.
Are you excited about that tackle?
I would have been more excited if it was a foot deeper into their backfield. But that's just me. So here we see 2 tight end look as well. One at the top of the line, one at the bottom. AJ back to pass, but taken down by that stout defense. That right, Buster Johnson having a night so far with some nice tackles on the halfback, and there a sack on Ashley Jackson.
Yep, and he's also shown that you don't need to have the most stats or overall to actually make an impact. So that good on him for that.
Yeah, he is willing to drop an animation that we felt was sort of early put onto him and drop down to bronze to be able to work on his build a little bit more. So that's a great team player right there. Here we see a very nice pass deep ball to Owens, probably 17 yards past that line of scrimmage. Exactly what they needed here to keep them rolling down that field. You can see Loveless dropping back into some coverage, just short on the ball, and there we see Meerkat and Wright, the double D's, Derek and Daniel coming in to on both sides of Ryan Owens in the back there.
He was able to find a nice open and a nice deep throw to boot on that one.
Though you might be double D's, your defense is not soft. I'll stop. I have to stop.
Yeah.
We'll just stop.
Let's just admire this backfield push by number 92. How about that?
Here he is again, pushing that offensive line, just sort of finding a gap and filling in that hole that was intended for Moses to go through, but instead the parting the water was shut down by Johnson. Derek and Daniel, yes. That's... no, you're D&D. So you're Dungeons and Dragons. You're Derek and Daniel. That's...
Well, we could go either way.
We'll go with D&D is more PG, so we'll go that way. Nice little tip ball there by number 34. That would be someone doing it the right way.
Got the waffle man himself. Write that down. Good pass deflection.
Gets that sleeved arm up. It's kind of chilly out in Minnesota, perhaps. Gets that arm up just in time to block that pass. 3rd and 12 is what it brings up. I don't know if there is an end, Derek.
There is never an end. I've known Axel now for a year. There is no end.
So 3rd and 12 forces them to go into a single back quad look. AJ back to pass, finds what looks like an open receiver, and it's caught at the top for a gain of about 20 on the play. That is number 10, Ryan Owens. I believe that was number 37, Derek Meerkat on the stop of the tackle there.
Looks like Derek has some broken coverage there. I wonder what happened. Could have made a play, but didn't.
I think Owens might have been, and AJ smart enough to see the transition from zone to zone and, planned it to be specifically in that spot in between coverage. Here we see it short drop back, pass over like a swing pass there to Moses, and it is not going anywhere. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Second 10 on the Minnesota 12. This has been a good drive so far.
Yeah, they're currently in Cliff Allen's distance, clearly for a field goal if needed. But we'll see how that goes. A pass over to the middle, completed for a gain of 5. Just a falling catch right there. Keeps that ball moving. Makes a more manageable 3rd down.
Yep, and as we know, this started on the Arizona 24. So they're really chewing up clock, making the most of this possession. Really just running downfield, so to speak, but doing it with the passing game.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I hadn't looked at the clock much since the start of the second, and we've got about 3 minutes left. Here we see a triple formation. Pass over the middle. Looks like it could have been enough. Not quite. They're going to rule it down at the 1. Stopped right before getting that forward momentum over to get that first. And then ended up being tackled at, I would even say, the 3/4 yard from the line of scrimmage. Brings up 4th and 1, forcing Cliff Allen to come out to kick that 3.
Looks like maybe a 32, almost 33 yarder.
That's about right, yeah. And it's up. And like money, that is in. So that brings the Arizona score to 3. 3-7 right now. Minnesota leads. Will Todd saying that he was open out there. Make sure you look and throw to the tight end.
And he is definitely good looking. We got to put that out there too.
There we go. So Allen back to kick. Kickoff. And it's up. Taking her on the 4-yard line. Run up by Adam Banks. Up to about the Minnesota 24. That's where Minnesota will take over with 2.5 minutes or so left in this first half before we go to the halftime.
Yeah, they might get 1 play, maybe 2 off before the 2-minute warning. So we'll see if they can make the most of this 2-minute warning come up and the essential timeout that it gives.
We see an I-form pro formation, receiver at the top and bottom, 2 backs behind Reno under center. He makes some little adjustments, back to pass, throws over the middle, is tipped back. Looks like the wide receiver is just full of coverage, and lucky that that one didn't get sniped there at that 32, 33 yard line. We'll see. Maybe we can listen in if we hear what Johnny Reno was talking about. Oh, it looks like they're going to try passing. I don't know. Well, here we see a similar pro form look, 2 receivers, 2 backs, 1 tight end. Back to pass. This is a longer drop back. Pass over to the far side. Really overshot that ball right there. Trying to hurry up, maybe leading his receiver a little bit. Had the jump, but just was not able to connect.
Again, yeah, just a little out of reach. Maybe he felt a little pressure coming, but those are the ones that you kind of need to make in that moment.
Yep, and to be fair, these players have only been playing together for a couple weeks now. The signings went through on June 6th for the most part, and it wasn't right away that they started playing out on the field. Pass over the middle to number 80. That's Jay Taylor with the reception. Ultimately getting 8 on the play, which was a great pickup, but not enough to get that first down.
Yep, and that is the last play before the 2-minute warning, so we'll be looking at a punt on the other side.
Which will give, I think, based on how far the punt is, it might be around in the 30s, which is not terrible starting position for Arizona. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, totally feasible that they could drive it down to pick up at least 3, if not 7. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, and they have 2 timeouts to work with, so just still got plenty of time.
Kicker back to punt. The punt is up. Pretty decent. It was fielded around the 34, called for a fair catch, and that's where the Scorpions will do their business. So here we see, looks like split backs behind AJ, a pair of twins wide receivers at the top and a tight end at the bottom, making some shifts, defense shifting in response, showing a 4-3 look. Hand off to Moses, run up the middle for a gain of close. They're rounding it up to a yard or so, making it 2nd and 9.
Well, you got to give it a yard because it was Juan, Mississippi with the stuff.
That's probably why they rounded it up to 1 yard.
2nd and 9 now on the 35. I will be surprised to see them keep running. I would like to see a pass and play out of them to start moving the ball.
Handoff to Moses and taken down pretty quickly there at the line. Actually, a loss of a yard on that play. One of the defensive backs, number 33, that's actually cornerback Johnny Bravo coming in for that big hit on Moses. We see a dime package from the defense, a quads left from the offense, pass over the middle, deep, is caught by number 80, correct? Is that 88? TJ Punk down in the middle, just a deep post route down there, gets over that defense, and they catch it. Daniel Wright able to take him down. He was almost already being taken down by himself. Just reaching for that pass, successfully catching it.
I think Daniel thought there was snow on the ground. He wanted to go for a slide. That's all.
AJ showing 110 yards so far in this game. AJ has 1 interception. I believe Reno has 2. AJ passes over to the flats to Moses, I believe, and taken down for a loss of a yard there by Raven. Coverage in the flat there.
Now we see the hurry up because we're getting under 40 seconds left.
Pass over to the middle, successfully caught as well.
Mr. Raven again with the stop.
I believe that was number 89. Is that right? Will Todd.
There's that good-looking tight end.
Yeah, you got me all flustered. We'll see what. So this brings up 3rd and 6. Todd was able to make 5 on that play. Here they show a bunch formation. Lone receiver on the bottom, single back behind Ashley. Ashley drops back far, passes over along over the middle or to the side, gets her receiver down in the end zone. That is TJ Punk was able to beat her coverage. I guess the safety wasn't able to maintain that. That was Daniel.
Yeah,
How's that feel?
I'm taking a small break. As you can see, it's preseason. I got to warm up the hamstrings. I'm dealing with an injury off the side. Doing what I can.
I'm going to have to tell you to stop playing basketball between games. No, I'm just kidding. So here we see Cliff Allen kick that point after. And it's up. And it's good. That brings the Arizona Scorpions 10, Minnesota Legends 7. The Arizona Scorpions take that 3-point lead. 31 seconds left in this first half. Can the Legend answer in the next 31 seconds, or are they going to bring this into the locker room and try their hand at the second quarter or second half? The socks were too tight. That's funny. But that was a great pass, great run pass route, and then great reception by Punk in the end zone. I mean, you can't hope for something better than that. That was like a 30 or 40-yard pass for a touchdown. Perfect. Here we saw Adam Banks coming up, returning that ball up to the 25, about a gain of 20 to 22 yards or so on that return. Here we see Reno, split tight end, flex something. Hands off to Calden Hart, runs up to the side, gets stopped a little bit, but the momentum of that pile was driving forward and able to pick up 3 on that play.
And it looks like the Legend are going to settle and let it go to halftime. Maybe get one more play off, but it shouldn't be too bad. It's probably another run and play, I would suspect.
And, they do run it up the gut. Able to pick up 1 yard on that play, and that brings us to 0-0 in the second quarter, leading us to the second half. Little halftime show.
Yeah, and Arizona will have a 10-7 lead going into the third.
Good job so far. It's a good showing by the majority of people out there. You know, obviously, the worst thing that's happened so far are the interceptions, and you know, defensive backers are gonna defensive back. That's what they do. It's, you know, tip balls is not much to plan for other than, you know, you got to catch your passes and that kind of stuff. But, you know, we're seeing a lot of great gameplay by both sides of the ball on both sides of both teams themselves. Some highs, some lows. And I'm just excited to see how this continues into the second half.
Yeah, it's been a good showing by both teams. A bit of a secondary collapse on both sides of the ball. We're not going to mention any right names about that, but other than that, it's been a good game, good defensive game. Ashley's now starting to find her rhythm, starting to show herself, and let's see if she can keep that going. She found a big touchdown at the end of the first half. And Johnny's had his ups and downs, but he's actually doing pretty good. Chemistry will come as the people play more and more together. This is a brand new team, brand new expansion team. It'll take time to figure itself out.
Absolutely. And yeah, like we've mentioned earlier on in the game, both teams are playing with the exact same generic playbooks, both on offense and defense, and have matching run-pass ratios. So really, it's just about how APF wants to toss that coin a little bit. Both teams, you know, the value comes up to, I think Arizona's value for this roster right now is 1799.98. And if memory serves me right, the Legend are 1799.66 or 56. So, you know, within 0.3 of overall value for their user players. And I mean, I think that itself is an accomplishment for for anybody that's gotten up to or to that 1800 mark, really as close as they can. That's what you want to see have happen in your off season. So good kudos to Arizona to doing that, and appreciate all the hard work that Minnesota put in. So it's at the Arizona 28 is where the Arizona Scorpions will see what they can do. They're in a strong spread formation, two receivers at the top, one at the bottom, but they hand it off to Moses, who's able to sort of shift and dive and dodge up to the 32, a gain of 4 on the play.
And it was the safety who actually makes a tackle. Downright can at least tackle in this game. Not so much about the coverage plays, but at least he's out there hitting hard.
We see a split shotgun. 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom. Backs alongside, hands it off to Moses from the shotgun, and loses those 4 yards he picked up on the very previous play, taken down by Max Knight. First time we've heard his name much. We've heard a lot about Buster Johnson earlier. Here we see both sort of a team up from Max Knight and Mello taking over, pile driving on Moses there.
And the front of the defense has been really good at stopping the run all game, except for one, I think, 19-yard run. So their defense is really holding up on the front lines.
You see a shotgun straight package, pass over the middle, complete, but for only 6 yards, bringing up a 4th and 4. That was Will Todd, tight end, on that reception. Punter's back to punt. It's back. The kick is off. Caught around the 30, brought up to about the 32. We'll see Reno there, number 15, coming out, doing a little quarterback strut you see them do. Split backfield behind him with the backs. Receiver at the top, receiver at the bottom. Hand off quickly to Colin Hart for a gain of half yard that rounded up to 1, so 2nd and 9.
A good tackle there by number 64.
That is Alex Constantine. Yeah, I've been doing some sims with teams around the league, and when I simmed my one game against Arizona, he was a constant pain in my tuchus. So I be on the watch for this defensive line this coming season. Successful pass by Reno over the middle, taken down by Eddie Gage. Did you catch who that was? Adam Banks, your brother.
Popping up right now. Yeah, Adam Banks got into the inside coverage again. Nice pass into the window.
Banksy, as you like to call him. We've got a gun straight look by the offense. Reno back to pass in the shotgun. Pass is successful, about 17 yards down the field to Jay Taylor. Nice little post route into the middle.
Yeah, and now they're all the way on to Arizona 30 in a blink of an eye.
You're right. I didn't even notice that. So here we see another shotgun split look, spread formation with the receivers. Perhaps tight end flex. Pass over the middle. Looks like Jay Taylor again for a gain of 7 on that play. Just able to sort of get in front of the linebacker crew, dropping back into that little 7 to 10 yard zone coverage. And we see Eddie Gage with 2 interceptions on the day, looking for a third, or he would probably take one for anybody on his defensive back or defensive side. Little delayed draw handoff to Colin Hart. Loss of 2 on that play. Draws tend to not work very good, but again, that's what you get. Those and toss plays and some runs from the shotgun in these generic playbooks. But it's fun. It gets the teams out there. We get our first look at the season 19 Arizona Scorpions and Minnesota Legend out there. Reno back to pass, a short drop back, passes over to the side. That was Buchanan Simons, able to get out to the 10, just sort of tippy-toeing along that side of the field. I wonder if there might be a flag thrown here as to challenge it. If he went out of bounds there or not. Not sure. I could see an older coach doing that.
I don't think it would be worth the challenge because it's still going to be a first down because it didn't look like he popped out of bounds until after he made the first down marker. But it's now first and goal on the 10.
Got a joker look. Wide receiver at the top. Twin tight ends on either side. Short drop back by Reno. Pass over the middle. Sort of a lob pass for a pickup of 9. Brings up to the Arizona 1-yard line. Second and goal. That is our new tight end number 2. That is Christian Bacigalupi in there, coming over from Tacoma. Great to see him playing a part in this offensive drive here.
Now they're on the 1-yard line. We'll maybe see if they're going to punch it in with Colin Hart.
Looks like a weak side offset. Handoff. Tries to run it around the edge, but that edge was coming after him. Loss of 3.5 on that play. Takes him back to the 5-yard line. That offensive line not able to hold that edge for him. And that just sort of overflows steadily onto Colin Hart as he tries to make it around. Here we see an offset eye here. Reno over to pass. And they call it in. Set his foot. That is Jay Taylor with that sort of leaning Tower of Pisa catch into the end of the backfield or end of the end zone.
That was a good body control because he rushed right to the back of the end zone and able was to stop his momentum in time to actually just halt and just keep the feet in bounds.
So I was talking about our new tight end number 2, Christian, and Aaron Kozak, otherwise known as Max Knight, does pipe in and say, "Aren't we all new?" With the big smiley face. You are correct. Everybody on the Minnesota Legend are brand new to the team. So thanks for putting that out. I appreciate it. Great to have you all here. Great to have, both the veterans and new Arizona Scorpions here in the building as well. Successful point after by who?
Mickey! I've done it now 2 times in a week. Do I now have to do next week's?
You're getting your quota in right now. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do that during broadcasts. I have no idea. During the regular pro broadcasts, I have no idea. We'll see.
I'm just saying, if they do, it came from me first. So thank you, broadcast team. That one's for you.
It sounds like he enjoys it. So it's hard not to indulge someone if they get that enjoyment out of it. So if it ever becomes too much, don't be afraid to tell us to shut up. So there we saw Ryan Owens with the successful reception on that kickoff, bring it up to a nice position, the Arizona 30. So that's where the Scorpions will start this drive. Derek, keep drinking your Bud Light Apple. Here we see a shotgun split backs beside AJ. Hands off to Moses from the shotgun. Able to just barely make it up to that line of scrimmage. Really got hit by a defensive player, 4 yards deep or so. Ashley
Looks like
Jackson.
a group tackle there, and they looked like they were showing off Max Knight the most off it.
With that really nice pass previously, Ashley Jackson sitting at 106 passer rating right now, which is pretty decent. Considering she has one interception, but that pretty much that nice touchdown sort of offsets. That pocket is collapsing, taking forever. That coverage must have been pretty good downfield, not able to find anybody open. And there we see, give me a side view, Angela Meerkat. That is number 90, defensive end, Angela Meerkat with the big backside tackle. Angela, I'm going to have to make sure that you, am I going to have to mediate while you apologize to AJ for that? Here we see the Scorpions in a bunch look at the top, receiver at the bottom, single back behind AJ, behind Ashley Jackson. Drops back to pass. Looks like she finds a man, passes it over to the side. Number 22, I believe that is.
You got Clay.
So you got Clay coming in with a clutch with the big tip up, I believe. Keeping that pass from coming down. And both you or Tiga could have had that little reception to the house. But we'll take this. I mean, that was close. That looked pretty good. But
it's the rookie nerves,
Yeah.
But that was great deflection by Tiga. Really went to stop the play, halted, and just go on to previous play. We all know that Meerkats like to pounce on people, and that was a very good pounce that Angela just did.
Absolutely. And that brings up 4th and 10, forcing the Scorpions to punt here from their 30. The kick is up. Fielder on the 38 and tackled at the 39. There, Tiga Clay taking, for some reason, punt duties in here. I swear I updated all of the returning duties to Adam Banks, our returner. But
hey, we get to show off the rookie some more. Nothing wrong with that.
APF doing APF things. So here we see a pro look, I formation. Receiver at the top, receiver at the bottom, tight end at the top. Reno back to pass, finds a man deep on the right side. Successfully caught, taken down by number 39, Iverson Gamble on that far side. I believe that must have been Jay Taylor. Yep, number 80. Again, coming over from Charleston, getting 3 to 5 yard separation from Gamble.
And just like that, all these big bomb plays from Johnny Reno has put them on the 35-yard line once again in a blink of an eye.
And here we see that shotgun split back. Look. Hand off to Colin Hart again. It's not going anywhere. These rushes from shotgun, these tosses, or these draw plays, just you don't see them that often. Enjoy them in the preseason games because you don't see them that often in pro games because they just don't work really well. But
Alex Constantine with the big stop though, so good on him for that. I'm going to make it a 2nd and 14.
We see a shotgun straight look, 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom, and a tight end. Nice little quick pass over the middle to the side. That's number 87. Vive la France, Mr. France, Monsieur Francais.
It's good to see France actually make a catch and make his first reception of the game. It's
absolutely
already into the 3rd. You need to be a little quicker, Mr. France.
A pickup of 6 on that one, making it a more manageable 3rd and 4. We'll see what they decide to do. Here we see, again, with that 3 receiver split shotgun look. They hand it off again to Colin. Is it this one going to be the difference? Not too much. He's able to actually pick up 2 yards on that play, but they need to stop calling that play.
But this is the first time we'll get to see Mickey out for a field goal.
That's true. We'll see what he does. We have, as Type Attack mentioned in the chat very early on, our backup quarterback, straight from Minnesota, number 10, Thousand Lakes. The kick is up, and it's good through the uprights for 3 points, bringing Minnesota to the 17-10 lead over the Arizona Scorpions, but still within so viable range to tie it up for the Scorpions.
Look, I rolled a critical 1. It happens, Derek, okay? That's what happens in D&D, okay? I just failed a save, and I just fell over.
We can't all roll nat 20s now, can we?
No, we can't. And once again, I'm saying I'm dealing with a hamstring injury, so I'm a little slow off the gun. I tried their biscuits and gravy, and I'm really slow off that,
We see number 10, Ryan Owens, could be breaking free. Mickey is not quite fast enough. This is exactly what the Arizona Scorpions needed. was this change in momentum right here. And with that, they're one little chip shot away from tying this game up with over a quarter left. This hometown team here in Minnesota, not quite down with that kickoff. A 95-yarder from Ryan Owens. Just sort of gets bottled up, runs into the back of one of his blockers. But because that blocker was there and that little delay really opened up that hole on that right side, and then he just hoofs it the rest of the way. Mickey Melillo not quite able to catch up. Doesn't want to strain that kicking leg. I think it's insured for $1 million is what BJ told me. So we'll see. And so here we see Cliff Allen for this extra point. And it's up. And it is good. So that ties this ball game up with 12 and a half minutes left. Still,
yeah, 17-0. It's turned out to be a really good game, what we all wanted and expected it to be.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if the momentum has truly shifted to Arizona, or if the Minnesota Legend can really push back and move that pendulum back to center and over towards their side again. The kick is up. Received into the end zone and taken back here by Adam Banks and taken down around the 23. That kick was about 3 or 4 yards deep into that end zone. And so it was a long kick to field. So hence the 23 there. And that defense, special teams defense, really making a day out of it, taking him down at the 23.
Now let's see if Johnny Rio can get back to his throwing form now at 1st and 10 and the 23.
We see a receiver at the top and one at the bottom. Reno back to passes over to the left side. Caught for about almost like a 17, 18-yard pickup. Buchanan Simons on the reception. 6 of 7 so far on the night.
Yeah, they started off in the 23 and they're now at the 45, I think, that they said.
Number 44, Everett Garrison, out in coverage with extra safety help by Maurice Lloyd in the back to take him down. But Simon's able to just sort of blow by, boosts a little bit of speed, slows down a little bit, and then makes that nice cut. Here we see a tight end flex on the strong side with the offset eye behind him. Hand off to Cullen up the middle. Nothing happening for Hartwick tonight that much. He started off the first few rushes he did were pretty successful. Not sure sort of why they've sort of changed what was working and decided to go for that split shotgun rushing for a little while, but we'll see. There we see number 95 getting ready. That's Sean Moore, inside linebacker. Triple look by the Legend, caught in the middle by France, taken up for 5 yards. Looked like he was playing sort of pinball, hitting off the defensive lineman. I think he hit 3 of them in a sequential row. Bing, 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 kind of thing, holding him to a 5-yard gain.
And like the big man he is, as soon as he caught the ball and turned off field, he wanted to see the first man he could to hit.
Who can I hit? And tries to plow him over. Empty backfield. Reno to pass over the middle. Successfully caught. I'm not sure who that was. I want to say it might have been France again with an outside corner route from there.
Well, guys, it is the 4th quarter, so put up your 4s in the chat.
And 86s if you do decide to, if you'd like to, for Richard Pratchett. Here we see twins at the bottom, split backs behind Reno. Passes over to the far side. That is actually the tight end. I'm sorry, the fullback. That is Tank Williams, number 46.
Moving like a tank as well for a good 6 yards, putting him at the Arizona 27.
We're looking at that tight end flex. Strong eye, offset eyes behind Reno. Reno under center. Hands off to Colin Hart. Cullen running up, gets about 3 on that rush, bringing up a more manageable 3rd and 1.
Now the playbook is wide open. Will they go up the gut this time, do you think, Axel?
I think it looks like they toss over to the weak side, which is a little surprising. Nothing happening there. A loss of 2 on that play.
So I'll reprise my question. Shouldn't they went up the gut, Axel?
Probably. With what you had there, either that or gone the other side. But running around the edge is a little hard to do. So they gave it a shot. And the toss just doesn't get the running back getting up to speed as fast as they could. So here we see Mickey out for a 42-yard field goal try. And its kick is up. And it's good. It puts the Minnesota Legend up by 3, 20-17 here early in the 4th quarter. Holder 10,000 Lakes. 1,000 Lakes, number 10. Nice little hold there. Nice little over-under. Kick by...
Perfect placement of the ball, too. Really is highlight and showcase.
Very nice.
Now we'll see if the special teams on the Minnesota Legend can stop Owens, I do believe, this time around, because the last time they did bring the ball all the way back for a touchdown.
Yes, let's see if lightning strikes twice for Ryan Owens. And the kick is up. Fielded at the 4 or 5 yard line. Owens is up, runs to the right side. Not a bad return. Not the touchdown he had previously, but 27 is not something to bat an eye at. And that at the Arizona 27 is where Ashley Jackson and crew will take over. Defense putting up a hard front there. Ashley Jackson out to pass to Moses in the flats, able to get about 3 yards on that play before being taken down by BJ Lovethis, their number 50 inside linebacker for the Legend.
Was he able to get upfield though, get 3 yards, making a 2nd and 7?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those little flat passes, the little screens and things, if they can get 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, I mean, those are as good as a solid run, right? So twin receivers at the top, twin tight ends at the bottom. Lone back passes over to the right side, just enough for that first down, plus a yard. It's number 88. That is TJ Punk out there with the reception.
Yeah, and then very strategic, just enough to get the first down, keep the ball rolling.
It is, yeah, exactly. It's like all you need to do is get to that next marker, that next yellow line, and then you get another chance to do it a few more times. So here we see that same look that we saw before. Handoff this time to Moses. First contact was at line of scrimmage or so. Able to come forward a little bit further. Tackled by Johnny Bravo. Moses with a gain of 2 on that run.
Yeah, defenses have been looking pretty good all night on the running game. It's really been the passing game from both sides that's really highlighted their offense for the most part.
That's true. So here we see an ace look, single back, receivers at the top and bottom, handoff to Moses running up the gut, gain of 1 on that play before being taken down by number 50, BJ Lovelis, getting mixed up in there in that line.
Now we're seeing a 3rd and 7 on the Arizona 41. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock of the 4th quarter.
We've got a trips to the bottom, one receiver at the top, load back, long drop back by AJ, and a very wide open receiver downfield at like the 26, 27 yard line. Set number 83. That is Connor Weston making his way out there.
Looks like he blew by coverage. Just blew right past him, number 33.
That is what it looks like. 33 not quite ready to be run past, probably waiting for some sort of move, route move, but just sort of a go route, just straight up the field. And the Scorpions able to capitalize on that. Again, like Connor Weston is saying, great throw, great reception, great route run. Here we see Moses trying to make what he could be. It was very, very busy D-line area, scrimmage line. Derek Meerkat able to slide in there and be the one to take down Moses there for a gain of 2 on that run.
Now we're looking at 2nd 8 on the 24. Clock continues to run.
Receive at the top and bottom, offset eyes behind Ashley on the weak side. Hand off to Moses again. He's able to make more. Gets 4 yards on that run. It brings up 3rd and 5. Juan, Mississippi, taking him down.
Yeah, the defense is still holding steady. They're in field goal range, so let's see what they do on the 3rd and 5. Do they play a little safer? Or do you think they'll maybe do an out route, try and get the first down?
So they're in the shotgun split back spread sort of style. This typically has been a shorter route. They do it right over the middle, and it looks like it was hit out. I'm sure this will come back and be shown as incomplete is my guess, but we'll see what the reviewers might have to say if it's called back. I'm sure. I don't know. Looks like Arizona recovered that, so they're not going to be the ones throwing the flag. We'll see what happens.
It looked like he was trying to make a football move, so I think that was a fumble that was out there on the field. But
as good as a catch, as good as a completion. They decide to let it go, and Ashley's back to pass, and is being tipped up by Cody Griffin. First time we've heard his name. I guess he was part of a conversation of getting burnt, I think, at one point. But Cody Griffin there on that leap up and pass deflection.
Yeah, it looked like it was good coverage downfield. That was the safe throw, the quote unquote safe throw for Ashley on that one.
Mm-hmm. Here we see maybe a running formation, heavy tight ends at the top and bottom of the box. I formation here. Moses run up the middle, able to get about 1 on that play. Still 3rd and goal.
We get down to a 3rd down, and Arizona has been able to make their 3rd down conversions up to this point.
They have to get it into the end zone, 8 yards back. Trip formations, 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Lone, it passes over to the right, and it's successfully caught by number 10. That was Ryan Owens out there, able to be brought up to the Minnesota 4, but it's pushed out of bounds. Steps out of bounds there at the 4. Bring up 4th and goal at the 4.
The defender couldn't tackle him, but he was able to use the force just enough to push him out of bounds because he was about to break that tackle.
So you think there's some sort of Star Wars something happening here in this game using the force?
There's always the force around us.
Excellent. So here we see Cliff Allen up to make a field goal from about a 20-yard long field goal. Should be an easy chip in. It's up. And it's good. That ties this game at 20-all with 4.5 minutes left in this 4th quarter. We're going to have to see which team will be able to rise up. Will the Minnesota Legend be able to take it downfield, score some points, if not a touchdown, to really pull ahead and maybe even pull far ahead? Or will the Arizona defense be able to stop them, stuff them, and get that ball back and do that themselves? Cliff again with the kickoff. It's up. Fielded at the 4 by Banks, running up the field, right up the gut, gets up to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Minnesota Legend will come out, their offense, see what they can do to get down the field to that end zone. In this case, do you feel like, Daniel, would you focus more on passing the ball, on getting down the field quicker versus running?
They got plenty of time to work with, so I think they should keep the mix going and see if they can actually get some good run out of Colin Hart now to use up as much time as they can.
So that was a nice little pass off to the far side. That was Buchanan Simons on that reception for 6 yards, brings him up to the Minnesota 31.
Yeah, it looks like number 44 on the play making the tackle. Everett Garrison.
Here we see Buchanan going to the bottom of the field. with a Joker's formation, the only wide receiver out there. Other than that, there's 2 tight ends and 2 running backs, or fullback and running back. A handoff to Colin Hart, run up a little hole in there, able to pick up about 12 on that play. One of the better runs that we've seen from him, getting back into the form we saw a little bit earlier in the first half, or first quarter even.
Yeah, and that's just mixing up the game like you need to do. They're going to expect a few heavy throws now that Reno has found his momentum with him. So it's a little surprise Colin Hart here and there, get a few 10, 12 yards, chew up that clock. They're looking to try and end this game with this final push.
So here we see a very similar look. Receivers at the top and bottom, 2 tight ends and a single back, ace formation. A little pass off to the top. Is that Buchanan Simons again? It is. For a gain of 3. Just a simple quick out up there, making 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. Playbook is still wide open. You can do a run or a pass here. I say they probably go for a pass here, try and close down to a first down, or make it within a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 range.
Here we see an I-form pro with a receiver at the top and bottom, fullback and halfback behind Reno. Little handoff to Colin Hart, run up the middle for a gain of maybe a quarter or a half, just to make that even 3rd and 7. Whatever was left over after the decimal might have been there, is wiped clean. It brings up 3rd and 7 here. We see a quads left look from the shotgun.
So we know that a passive play is coming. I'm sure Arizona knows that as well. So let's see how this goes.
A nice, 15-yard post route by Jay Taylor has been pretty clutch out there for Johnny Reno, seeing him cutting in just past Adam Banks there. Both heading inward into that middle.
Yeah, all the wide receivers have been looking really good today out on the field. We've seen Adam Banks with a few 12, 10 yards. Jay Taylor and Buchanan Simons really getting over 100 yards, I believe, right now.
Split backs here. Receivers split on top and bottom. Pass over to the top. The left side, and taken down by Jason France there for a gain of 12 or 13 on that pass. And that brings them to the Arizona 22. They're all of a sudden 2 yards out from the red zone.
Yeah, and France has been known being able to catch the ball and run the ball just like a wide receiver. So it's nice to see him starting to pick up, get into the game. I believe that's his 3rd reception there now.
It sounds about right. Maybe 4th that we didn't mention at one point, but I feel like we've recently mentioned 3. Pass over to the flats to Colin Hart, a pickup of 3 there before being taken down by number 95. That 95 is Sean Moore, inside linebacker, coming over to pull him down to the ground.
Yeah, it looks like Colin Hart stumbled on their catch a little bit. Able still to pick up 3 yards. That's just as good as a run, like you were saying earlier.
2-minute warning. They've already taken off about 2.5 minutes in this drive so far, as they make their way, inching their way closer and closer to that hopeful end zone there.
Yeah, make sure the secured ball, that's the main thing going on for them now. Keep chewing the clock up and, try and leave as little no time on the clock as they can.
Here we see a doubles package. 2 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. We've got a single back behind Reno. Reno, long drop back, passes over the middle and is intercepted and fumbled in the end zone and picked up by number 79. Is that the center ends up making his way up the field, catches the ball as an interception before he gets out of the end zone, is tackled, and it comes loose and picked up by, I don't remember his name. No, that's the center, number 79.
Number 79, oh my God, let me look this. Brandon Davenport?
Let's do this. We don't normally do this, so we're going to. Serena's back.
I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life.
So we see that is Sean Moore, inside linebacker, getting that ball. I mean, there's 3 around Buchanan Simons. Moore getting that ball and ending up into the the end zone there. Instead of like downing it, ends up trying to take it out of the end zone. Simons, again, the one who it was intended for, comes, knocks it out of his hands. And then number 79, Davenport, center, comes in to make that touchdown. Let's see how this all plays out.
It looked like he caught the ball not in the end zone, so therefore he couldn't kneel down. I think momentum sailed him into the
so he had to leave. Okay. And so Mickey on the point after from that. I've never seen that happen, though I've only been here for a little over a year. I'm curious, has anybody seen that?
Did you say that's a new legend for a preseason game?
Yeah. So yeah, Sean will be credited with the interception, but also with the fumble, and then a 79 center for the legend will be credited with a fumble recovery and touchdown subsequently. Wow. You can't play on these things. The kickoff is off. That leaves, a minute 53 for Arizona to do some work out there. Still a lot of time left. 3 timeouts left for Arizona. To work their way down. They have 75 yards to go. This is what Ashley and the offense trained for out there is how far can they go within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, still plenty of time on the clock to work with. So I would like them to use more clock because Ashley is potent out there on the field.
So in a shotgun straight look, 3 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top, little out route there by number 88. Yep, TJ Punk received it and then able to step out of bounds after 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and that only chewed up 4 seconds on the clock for 4 yards, so not too bad. But they needed a whole lot more than that to get down to the end zone.
Now, in this time, would you, we were just talking as the Minnesota Legend were taking the ball. Would you, in this case, pass more than likely here through this drive?
I think every play, for the most part, should be a passing play at this point because they need to get 7 points.
That was successfully caught, but just out of bounds. Looks like the safety wasn't around, so tried to jump up. Meerkat on the pressure there, forcing Ashley to throw that ball maybe a little errantly or not quite soon enough out there to number 83, Connor Weston.
Yeah, we're looking at 3rd and 6 now on the Arizona 29.
Here we 3 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top, lone back behind her. Off to the side, tipped up by number 32. That is Rick Evans, new free safety coming in from the draft this last weekend, making his presence known out there.
Yeah, and so far he got an interception and now pass deflection on the day.
This brings up 4th and 6. This could
be ball game.
This could be single back quads look from Arizona. Ashley drops back, a short drop back, pass over the middle is defended by number 22. It looked like Tiga Clay. And then Loveless ended up on the ground. And we see Tiga getting right in, covering number 19. But gets in front of the pass intended for number 88, TJ Punk.
It's good to see the rookies in action in prime form, just off the minor leagues. So they're still fresh, ready to go. Now, Arizona do have 3 timeouts, so they can stop the clock 3 times here.
So it's a very, probably a Jacks formation here on a weak eye. Handoff to Colin Hart, running to the side, able to sort of dodge and weave, is able to run and gets into the end zone for the first touchdown, longest run for him of the night.
And very good blocking up front there. If you see about 10 yards up front, there was a nice block to actually let him keep going.
Absolutely. He did a little sidestep, a little juke to the side right there. Really threw number 27, Eddie Gage, for a loop. Eddie ended up on his knees for a little bit while Colin Hart ran a little past him.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 46 there with the good block.
46 is the new fullback, Tank Williams.
Oh, look, another rookie getting in on the action.
So here's Mickey again for the point after here.
And we like to say this once again, this is generic playbooks. This is no indication of how the regular season is going to go, even though I'm loving to see the score right now.
But that, again, we are not counting the Arizona Scorpions out of this in any fashion, because they have, again, like you said, 3 timeouts left and a minute and a half left. Things can happen. We have seen this lead be vaporize in past games, so we will have to just see. And again, this has no ramifications for anything. Just a lot of fun to see your players out in the field. A friendly scrimmage between players. We almost could have seen. I was fearful there. Being a member representing the legend, or another Ryan Owens breakout run down the field for a touchdown, having happened already for this team in the game.
Yeah, all actually needs to do is throw deep to a certain down right side, and you probably get a touchdown. So look for that, AJ.
2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Tight end out there, lone back Moses. Pass over the middle. It's completely completed successfully to number 83. That's Connor Weston on that inside post route. Looked like he had to leap to try to get it a little bit, and threw off his stride, which then allowed the cornerback number 33, Johnny Bravo, to take him down from the shoulders.
And like I said, just throw the way of down right, and you'll get a completion. Looked like he tried to jump to deflect it, but he just couldn't. Very good throw in a tight pocket. And our mascot is indeed the Sasquatch.
Ashley back to throw. Pressure coming in. She threads that needle out to tight end Will Todd. He goes out there and makes a nice little inside post route, just threading both the outside linebacker and number 37, the safety, Meerkat, just hitting him right in the middle between coverage. And before you know it, they are at the Minnesota 23, 3 yards from the red zone, 23 yards from the pay dirt, if you will.
Yep. But they only have 1 timeout left, so that will be very critical now coming up in the next couple of plays.
Back to pass, empty backfield, passes off and over, and falls, tackles into the end zone. That is a touchdown for Connor Weston. And that with that touchdown and with eventual extra point, they're within scoring distance, and they've only taken off less than 30 seconds on this clock with over a minute still left.
Yeah, it'll be up to the special teams now to see if they can recover the onside kick. Because if the Minnesota Legend get the ball, there's not enough timeouts to stop the clock.
Cliff Allen for the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. So that brings this game that the Scorpions are within striking distance, 7 points down. Minnesota 34, the Scorpions 27, with a minute 9 left. After the kickoff and return, should probably be a minute 5, minute 4. Yeah, I'm sure they will onside kick it, Guy. That is right. So this thing will be bouncing around. Let's see how good the Minnesota Legend hands teams are. And Arizona recover the ball, it looks like. That was number 84, Diesel. Let me scroll down here to see that full name. That is Vin Diesel, the third string tight end out there, making that huge game-saving play, giving Arizona the ball back.
Yeah, it looked like number 83 went for the ball and actually hit it right to the Arizona team.
Good on you, Arizona. Let's see what you can do with it. From their own 37-yard line, they are showing a quads package. 2 receivers at the top, 2 at the bottom. Ashley back to pass, collapsing pocket, but she's able to complete it just past that first down. That was number 83, Connor Weston. That's sort of an inside pass or inside route.
Yeah, here
back
we go
again.
With no hurry now.
And she is taken down. Ashley's a loss of 8 on that play. Sort of a combination between Mello and Meerkat, 2 defensive ends joining up on that sack. Pass over the middle, overshot her receiver, number 83, Connor Weston, down the field.
But the best thing about that is it does stop the clock.
And 2 more plays she got. She could have been taken down again. That pocket was starting to sort of wrap around and collapse on her a bit there too. Dime package out of the defense. A bunch on the offense. 3 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Back behind Ashley. Ashley under center. Drops back. Waiting. Passes a lob. Lobs the pass over. 83. Connor Weston catches it. Everybody in pursuit and unable to get there. That's Connor Weston with a long, 50-yard plus pass or reception.
And just like that, we might be going into overtime. Like I said, they left too much time on the clock for Arizona.
Look at that. We have both Griffin and Loveless in pursuit there. So here comes out Cliff Allen to tie the game up 34. Ronnie Bass, the holder, backup quarterback. Kick is up. And it's good. 28 seconds left. Arizona will kick off to the Legend. The Legend will probably have 24 seconds to mount a comeback to maybe get in range for a kicky field goal or a Mickey field goal. We'll call it
field goal?
Mickey's kicky. A Mickey kicky.
They do have 3 timeouts, so there is still a chance you have to go off the hands of Reno for this one.
That's right. We move down the field as quick as can be. But again, you practice these 2-minute drills, these 30-second drills. So we see Banks bringing up to the 22nd or 22-yard line of Minnesota. And that's where Minnesota will mount whatever's left in what they can in 24 seconds.
And we've seen that they can move the ball quickly in a blink of an eye. We've seen that on a few possessions already.
You see a triple formation, single back behind Reno, tight end at the top, 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Reno under center drops back, a short pass or short drop back completed to France over the middle for a pickup of 15 or so. Timeout called with 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the 60 that he wanted, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a first down, moves you up the field. We'll see. I mean, 20 seconds is not a lot. I mean, and that took, well, I guess 4 seconds, but you're going to have to start making a little bit, chopping off more than those 15 yards if you want to make it further. Single back, 2 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom, tight end at the bottom. Back, deep drop back, pass over the middle, and is brought down also by Jason France this time. Dropped at about the Arizona 42. A pickup of, maybe 20, 25 yards there.
And obviously France took offense to the fact that it took him so long to get into the place that he's just catching every ball right now.
A bunch show by the Legend. 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Back behind, helping to block. Pass over the middle is complete to Jay Taylor. Pickup of about 17. Brings it up to the Arizona 28.
Yep, and now they don't need the rush. Get that timeout and get that field goal team on the field.
This will end up being about a 45-yarder. And as much as he looks upset, Axel Raven, the coach, is probably pretty pleased with Reno's performance in the past 3 quarters or so. The first quarter finding his ways, but he's been looking a lot better the last couple quarters.
Yeah, the Axel Raven coach got a little bit of gray on his hair.
This team's been stressing me out. All good, though. Here's Mickey Melilo for the kick, 45-yarder. This is for the win, and it's up. And it's good. 0s on the clock. This seems like a recap of what happened in their the Adams championship game, very close game, battling it out, a little bit of back and forth, and having to be won on the boot of Mickey. I'll let you have it, Daniel. Go for it.
And Mickey is proving why he's the second pick overall in the first round draft. Kickers matter, folks. And this is the exact reason when it comes to crunch time, you need that boot.
Man, what a show out by, the hands team for special teams for Arizona to come out and get that onside kick. This was, so we had some interesting quick scores by both teams. One was a Ryan Owens kick return, I think 95-yard touchdown. The other sort of interesting one was that interception that then was fumbled and picked up by the center was a touchdown. And there was just a very even matchup back and forth, neither team wanting to give up much. But there were those nice big plays that sort of, I think Ashley had 2 deep bombs and really nice routes run. Here we see that kick return by Owens.
Yeah, it was definitely a couple of deep bombs to a certain side that Derek is going to berate me for later. But it was a good showcase for all teams, all players out there. We saw some interceptions. We saw the rookies get involved. It was a good showcase for everyone and a good start to, I guess you could say, the preseason and soon to be the regular season. It's a good start.
Absolutely. And like you said, Arizona doesn't have any new rookies to show off, but they did see some work by, the already existing players. We saw some work by Lawless out there. We saw Jay Hayden getting a reception or two, Moses getting a lot of work. I think Rivera had a catch early on in the game. And Constantine and DD Sachs were all up in Reno's grill pretty early on. Eddie Gage with an interception. And then on the Minnesota Legends side, like you said, Rick Evans out there. We saw Christian Bacigalupi out there. We saw Tiga Clay getting some nice looks and some, good deflections. The one person we didn't really see out there was Craig Mam. Again, fourth receiver is difficult to get incorporated. And in this playbook, there were some 4 wide receiver sets that were played, just didn't happen to get in there. Jason France was huge. But yeah, I think look, here we go. Johnny Reno being chosen as the player of the game tonight with the 2 touchdowns, pretty high, 75-ish%, maybe 70, maybe closer to 80% completion, 387 yards on the evening. But ultimately honestly, it was a very, very good game. And I hope that the Arizona Scorpions are proud of what they did. This literally could have gone either way. It was within, a camel's hair of one way or the other. And you guys did everything in your power to be able to get that ball back. You moved it down the field. You tied it up from a 14-point deficit in a minute and a half, I think. But so, man, please be proud of yourselves, both teams. 23 players in each team. That's 46 players out there on the field. So much time went into building these awesome rosters that we've got for season 19 and what will be the start of a great season.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it could have went either way. We saw a few plays like that interception that drove him into the end zone into a fumble. Never seen it before in my life. So if that didn't happen, it could have been a pendulum, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way the SFL works, and this is the beauty of it. Now it's on to the next preseason game, which actually I'm sure you can talk about a bit more about the Minnesota Legend side.
Yeah, so we've got 2 more preseason games for the Minnesota Legend, all of them being hosted here in the Northwood Stadium in St. Paul, Minnesota. So I cannot remember the order of which one is which. I believe I want to say it's Queen City will be coming into town on 7/6. So that I believe is next Wednesday evening. Same place, 1 hour later. So our typical 6 Central, 8 Eastern for next Wednesday. And then the following day, Thursday night, we'll be playing, I believe, San Diego. So it's either Queen City or San Diego, and next Wednesday and next Thursday nights, same place, same time for both of those, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. and why did we choose those teams? Ultimately, we reached out, last season with San Diego, had a connection with Tom Riddell. And so San Diego hosted Queen City this year. Tom reached out, wanted to set up another one, and with BJ's connection there, as well as Cody Griffin coming from over there as well, it just seems like a great time, to play. This game here was recommended by Mello and Max Knight, both Arizona alums wanting to be able to come together with their past team and have a little bit of fun. And I think this is a great game, great showing for both of them, and great showing for Arizona as well. And San Diego, my past team, coming in there, we may end up having maybe Liam Hammer joining in the booth for the call as well. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, this is we saw, I think one or either yesterday or the day before, we saw like Indianapolis face Florida. Yesterday, I think there was one going on. There's one going on later tonight or tomorrow. A lot of preseason games before now, and just over a week from now, when season 1 sort of starts to ramp up in Vegas.
Sounds like it's gonna be a good time. Las Vegas, everybody's looking forward to it. The HyperX Arena looks really good. I love the setup they have for it. So it's gonna be a good time for everyone that is going.
Agreed. I wish I was going. I'm sure you do too. We're planning on catching the next one. I'm unable to get off work, but I hope you all have fun. It sounds like both Jason France and Mickey will be heading to Vegas, and so if you see them out there and you're out there, give them a nice pat on the back, or congratulatory, or a nice little handshake of just simply, hey, I appreciate you being in the league with me. So, I'm not sure if there's schedule specifically for all the preseason games. The preseason games are all done by the teams themselves and not the league themselves. So it's the team by team getting together. I as the owner of the Minnesota Legend, took this upon myself to reach out then to Eddie and host this. Check people's Twitters. If you check on at Simulation FL on Twitter, you'll be able to see, usually they post them and tag the league Twitter post. Or if you're not in the Discord, join the SFL and Discord, or SFL Discord, by hitting up simulationfl.net and clicking the join Discord button there. Or if you are in the Discord, they're usually posted in the team content channel or player content channel there as well. But yeah, there's a handful happening this week and a handful happening next week, and some of them you have to be in the know to know what's going on, but there's usually things going on. Yeah,
I know specifically there's one tomorrow, right? The Louisiana Revolution, the Vancouver game.
Yep.
Oh, no, Louisiana and Canton. Sorry.
Okay, I know that the Vancouver is playing, I want to say even right now, at twitch.tv/Curtis, CURTIS, I believe, if anybody is interested in jumping off from here to there. But yeah, that our game is done, so why not go join another game if it's not too much. So anyways, any final words or anything that you're excited about, Daniel?
I'm just excited for the season. This is the first time we get to see our guys in action now since the end of the last season. So I'm just excited to play, excited to be involved, and hopefully I can heal up enough that my guy can actually do something on the field.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do out on the field. I feel like we got to go out there and play to our ability. Play to our potential, and that's what I'm hoping that we do. No matter what the end of the score is, that we're hitting what we need to hit, and we're seeing what we need to work on and developing as a team. It's sort of nice having these 3 preseason games being at home, because then we'll be jumping away, heading to Canton on the 11th to battle them in our week 1 game against the Classics. So, well, thanks, Jason, for the information. That was yesterday. So if you have a time machine, feel free to go back in time and check that out. If not, stay tuned for more things. We've got more coming up next week. Anyways, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, talk soon.
Have a legendary day, guys.
Good night.